Okay, so I'm gonna throw in some models for the landscape so you can get an idea. I'm gonna go to my library here where I have all my packs. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. And again, if you go to Marketplace, sorry, sometimes it takes a while to load, go back and forth. Go to the permanently free collection. There should be, so here's a city park environment collection right there. Um, that search product, that might go for everything in Unreal, so I'm not going to search in there. So, sometimes that's the one problem. Trying to search through the free stuff if you're looking for something specific, especially because all the stuff obviously takes a while to download into your engine. So maybe if you're trying to do something immediate and you want something very specific, then you have to go through it. But if you go through and you have the time, just purchase everything and then download it only as needed, and you'll add it to your game only as needed, I should say. But yeah, you can see right here I have there's vegetation, berries, plants, um, ground, tropical. So you have a lot of options, especially just for vegetation and landscapes. Interactive world foliage, all this stuff. So if you're looking for natural landscape stuff, just go into the totally free collection, and there's stuff that you can start with right out the gate. So I'm gonna go in mine, and I'm going to pull in. I'm going to pull in a pack actually that should have. I'm gonna do one of these Infinity Blade ones that I have, and I think I'll go with this Grasslands one because I want to do stuff with grass, but I want castle look. So yeah, I've used this one before. Then if you click on it, you can see what it's in it. So these different statues, these walls. And maybe I'll pick a different one because I've done that one quite a few times, I think. Village. Okay, that doesn't have any landscape. All right, I'll just go with this grasslands because I want grass. All right, sorry if I went a little too fast. So highlight, go to the project that you want. You can go to add a project right here. It'll bring up this screen. And it'll bring up all the projects that you have in Unreal Engine, and then it'll tell you which version of Unreal they are. It won't matter which version you put it in as long as the assets go to that version. Meaning, it'll say down here supported engine versions 4.9 to 4.25. 4.25 is the newest version. So, a lot of these, once 4.26 comes out, these will probably be updated for 4.26 and so forth. So I'm going to add a project, click on it, add a project. Now, depending on which ones you put in, they're going to be different sizes. This one is pretty nicely sized at only zero point 0.6 gigabytes, considering you get quite a few models and get some walls. And you can see right here, this is an environment that they made this pack with. So it's up to you as an artist. Sorry, it's not going to the next picture. It's up to you as an artist to determine what you're going to do with this pack. Sorry, this thing is like glitching out on me for some reason. So it'll just take a few minutes to load, and then when it's done loading, I will import it. Okay, it's finishing up and adding to the project. So now we should be all set. So we'll go back into Unreal. There should be a new folder that wasn't there before. So it's always a good idea to keep an eye on what your folders are. Obviously know what asset you just brought in, because it should be named with that proper folder. Ours is Infinity Blade Grasslands. So we have our effects. We have fog and dust in this one, so that's pretty cool. So you can add environment effects in this one. I double clicked on this. This is a particle system, which we will go over in another one as well. I just want to show you. So this will show you this is a nice little fog you can bring into it. And you simply bring it in. And you can see it right there. It's got that fog going in there. And then over here will be any parameters that go with it. We'll go over particle system stuff a little later. But give you an idea that you can pull other stuff in here too. So I can add fog. Not just, so some of these come with other stuff other than just a model. So they have all different stuff here. They have their own maps, so they'll give you an idea probably. I'll open that up in a second. I'm going to hit static mesh here. Once again, I hit that on my filters. So if you're here, content, you go to filters and click on it. It'll bring up all these options. So these are different things that you can highlight if you're trying to single something out. You're like, I only want to look at my static meshes right now and see everything that I have. So I hit static mesh and it brings up all my static mesh. But if I want to go further, I can go into my grasslands folder and only have the static mesh show up. And so then I can just easily look through it all and pull it out as I want. Maybe get some inspiration just by looking at some things. So you have different rocks here. You got large rock. Should have some small rocks somewhere. Got ground, grass. Let's see, we got tree. So just drag and drop in there. Take a second for it to put the texture on there. Sometimes if you have too many things going on, or it's a really big model, it's got a big texture, might have a little thing that says compiling shaders right where my mouse is at. Just remember, the more you blow it up, see the textures get stretched. So, you know, obviously putting this little tree out in the middle there isn't going to do anything. Let's see, I got like columns. So I got this column, let's say. I can make it extra big. And maybe it's like buried here. So the detail is obviously not as good because it's way in the back. But, you know, if I'm just looking out a window or something and it's way in the distance, then I don't really need the detail to be incredible. Obviously, if I was making a model for this, I would say make the model this size, you know, and then wrap the texture around it appropriately. But if I'm just building with somebody else's assets and this is what I have, and this is what I'm going to utilize, then, you know, don't be afraid to stretch it out. Just make sure that it doesn't look out of place. Yeah. You hit F on while you're selected on something, it'll bring you right to it. But I have all these different assets now that I can utilize, and let's say, so you do have like these grass, and that's a static mesh. But you could put these all over the place. So if you go to foliage, which is next to landscape, I can grab some static mesh, drop it in there, choose location for foliage. So I can pick a new location that I want to put it in. I'm going to keep it right where it's at. Generally, if I'm not saving a file somewhere specific, you know, like I'll make sure my project is always put in a specific spot. But if there's a default for saving stuff within the program, I usually just go with whatever it's asking. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. So I have this in here, this foliage, under foliage, which is shift 4. I've got a brush size, I have a paint density, I have an erase density, and then I can simply paint in my foliage. So instead of pulling one in after another, you know, one, two, just, you know, that way, I can just paint these in. And so then this paint density, how thick do I want this grass to be? Really thick? Or do I want to be a little more patchy? Now that I've already put all this in, I could go to my erase density. Make sure. And I'm holding shift. And it's erasing.